Hey everybody, LME here, and welcome to TAKEADITO, your freshest takes from your friendly neighborhood Peruvian. The World Cup is approaching, and everybody here at ESPN and ESPNFC have been going hard on predictions and, of course, the brackets. Who is getting out of each group? Who is going further in the knockout stages? And who ultimately will win the whole thing? Well, we're going to have some fun today because I'm going to give you my entire bracket. The whole thing. There is no script. There is no deep analysis. I'm just telling you what I think all the way until the final and the winner. Let's get going. We begin with the groups, of course. Now, I'm going to keep it nice and simple here because I don't think we need a whole essay. I'm just going to tell you who wins in every group and who is runner-up. And I'll give you a few little reasons why, but that's it. After that, we'll move on into the knockout stages. Let's talk about the groups. In Group A, I have the Netherlands taking care of this one with Senegal as runner-up. Group B, England. England wins the group despite all the obstacles that Gareth Southgate sometimes brings to the table. England wins it. The U.S. runner-up. Group C, Argentina, of course, and Mexico. Mexico, El Tri, I am pulling for you, your runner-up. Group D, we're going with France. Runner-up with Denmark winning it. Winning Group D. I believe in you, Denmark. Group E, Spain and Germany. Group F, Belgium and Canada. I'm going hard with CONCACAF in my predictions. Group G, Brazil, of course, and you'll see how far I have them going. With the runner-up in this one, it's tricky, but I'm telling you something. Not enough people are paying attention to Switzerland, okay? They beat France to make it further in Euro 2020, undefeated in the qualifier. Switzerland runner-up in Group G. Group H, well, I might get a lot of Cristiano Ronaldo fans really angry at me right now, but it's okay. Bring it, baby. I've got Uruguay winning the group. I believe in Diego Alonso's team and this very, very strong Uruguayan side. And guess who's runner-up? Guess who's runner-up, baby? Ghana! You are runner-up. I believe in the African teams in this World Cup. All right. Now that you have my champion of each group, my top of each group and runner-up, let's talk about the knockout stages. Clearly, you can see a pattern here with my choices. I'm not keeping it too secretive here. I'm not keeping it too underdogish. I really believe that this World Cup, more so than any, there's a super thin line between the contenders, the true World Cup champion contenders, and everybody else. The line is very thin. So these games, all of them are going to be extremely tight. But here are my picks going from the next round. Okay, here we go. All right, the first one, let's talk about the Netherlands against the U.S. The USMNT, absolutely heroic stuff to get out of that group. Well done, but you are still a little too young, a little too eager, and the Netherlands, with this experience, both defensively, offensively, young attackers, obviously Virgil van Dijk, and then you've got the likes of, Memphis Depay, Frankie de Jong. They're just too strong for you. The Netherlands beats the U.S. in this game. Let's move on. Argentina against France. My God, what a fixture. If you've seen the previous videos before, you've noticed how I'm a little bit worried about France. They are all or nothing. They'll win the whole thing, then they don't get out of the group stages. And in this situation, I feel there are similar themes just because this is a team in transition, okay? There is no longer the experience of N'Golo Kante or Paul Pogba. This is a very young midfield, and there's no way against an Argentina side who at this point, aside from Brazil, are the best team in the world. And I think Argentina wins this one with Lionel Messi. Let's move on and let's talk about Spain against Canada. Well, I've already said how much love I have for CONCACAF and the Canadians. It's a tremendous achievement for them to be here at the World Cup. Even amazing, more amazing that they got out of the group, but this is where it ends. Luis Enriquez, Spain is just too much. They're too organized, too cohesive, too beautiful to watch. Spain wins this one. Let's go for the next one. Brazil against Ghana. I can't tell you how difficult it is for me not to choose Ghana in this situation because I want an African team at least in the semifinals. They deserve it. So talented, and you can see all the objectives that they've wanted to do since the Africa Cup of Nations. But Brazil, to me, guys, is an absolute machine. The depth of this side, Coach Chiche's last World Cup, it's not even just about Neymar. They have weapons everywhere. They are ridiculous. I mentioned Argentina. I'm going with Brazil again here. South Americans win and they go through. All right, let's talk about my second team here. After Peru, England is my heart as well. And they face an African team in Senegal. Oh, Senegal. I want them to keep going. They are the African champions. They have so much to go for. But I think that despite of Gareth Southgate, this England national team, because they showed at the Euro 2020, they made it to the final, let's not forget. And Gareth Southgate took them very, very far in the last World Cup. Not since Sir Bobby Robson has England gone that far in the semifinals. I think they win here, but it's going to be a tight one. It might even go to penalties. But England takes care of business against Senegal. All right, let's move on. Denmark against Mexico. Well, you already know how high I think of Denmark. I have them winning their group. They are so good, not just because they have tremendous talent, but because they have so much going for them off the ball, on the ball, from an emotional perspective. And year after year, they just keep developing as a family. They have experience, they have youth, they have everything. They beat a Mexican side that once again can make it very, very far. Denmark are just too strong for Mexico. Bye-bye, Tata Martino. All right, let's move on here. Belgium against Germany. We have talked a lot over the years about this golden generation for the Belgians. Kevin De Bruyne, of course, and the likes of Eden Hazard, hoping to get back to what he used to be. Roberto Martinez is one of the best managers out there, period. Romelu Lukaku, of course. There's a lot of good talent here, but this is it. This is their last chance. And I feel that they'll keep going here, and they will beat a German side who is very, very good on the Hansi Flick, but I still feel they're still trying to figure a few things out, especially now with a few injuries coming out, Timo Werner, etc. So I think Belgium, they're just too strong, too experienced. They take care of business. And finally, Uruguay against Switzerland. What a game. This could be a record for yellow cards, I think. Maybe sendings off, because Switzerland are very, very powerful, very physical, very strong, right? Granit Xhaka is having one of the best seasons he's had in a long time with Arsenal, but Uruguay on the other side, it's not just about Luis Suarez. In fact, he's not even a starter, right? This is a very, very good team. And since Diego Alonso took care of this national team after El Maestro Oscar Tabarez was the manager for so long, they look a little bit more dynamic now. And, we keep going on about Fede Valverde. I really believe he will be a massive factor. They beat Switzerland. All right, let's go and talk about the quarterfinals. All right, here we go. The final 8, the last 4 matches. It's getting very tasty indeed. By the way, if you disagree with me, which I'm sure you will, make sure you drop in your comments under TAKEADITO ESPNFC YouTube. Want to hear from you. All right, quarterfinals, baby. Let's begin with number 1. Netherlands against Argentina. All right, listen, the Netherlands, this is it for you. You're done. I think it's commendable, everything that you've gone through, especially after the manager transition, and you have a lot of talent and youth is coming through and there's still experience, but Lionel Messi's not here to play around, man. Him and Lionel Scaloni have a very good team. They no longer just depend on Messi. There's no Messi dependency anymore. A very good side. Argentina goes through. Let's go next. Spain against Brazil. If the World Cup was a museum, was the Louvre, this would be the Mona Lisa. This will be, I think, a beautiful game to watch, right? A lot of really good technique, passing ability off the ball, et cetera, et cetera. 2 very talented sides. The ball will be on the ground for probably about 90% of this game. But Brazil, just as I was talking about Argentina, I'm sorry, I'm going hard on my South Americans at this World Cup. I think Brazil take care of business because ever so often, Spain, right, likes to overthink things. We saw what happened in the final World Cup. Brazil, they know exactly who they are, and they have way too many weapons. Brazil takes care of business. Let's move on to England against Denmark. Wow. Another repeat from the knockout stages from Euro 2020. Obviously, Denmark had all that emotional baggage after the tragedy that happened to Christian Eriksen. Thank goodness that he's alive and shining. But I think that the result here, the answer, the conclusion, the end to this story is the same. I think England are just too strong, a little too strong for this very good Danish side. England goes through. All right, let's go with the final game in the quarterfinals. Belgium against Uruguay. Well, you know how I was talking about how the golden generation, this is Belgium's last chance. Well, this chance is gone. Because I am going hard on my South Americans again. I know, LME, what is wrong with you? Blah, blah, blah. You're so biased. I don't care. This Uruguayan side is really good under Diego Alonso. I think they're going to go far, and they're not going to make the same mistakes they made in previous World Cups. Remember, they have a good history when it comes to, doing well at the World Cup. And again, just like Argentina doesn't rely on Lionel Messi, they don't rely on Cavani or Luis Suarez. This is a better side, and I think they beat Belgium, actually. This is going to be like a massive bout, like two boxers just going at it, and Uruguay will go through. All right, let's keep going here, because now we're in the semi-finals. Let's talk about the Final Four. I want to just tell you something, that one of these games I wish was the final, and it's the one that I begin with. Brazil against Argentina, el Superclásico Sudamericano, the Superclásico South American. And obviously, they have so much history. They absolutely detest each other. We know what happened recently from a competitive perspective in a final. Argentina became victorious in Copa America, and Lionel Messi finally removed that massive proverbial baggage of his back. But honestly, and I know, just like Ronaldo fans are like yelling at me, Messi fans are about to yell at me again. I got a lot of Argentinian friends. They're going to be mad at me, but I have to stick with my original thought, which is that this Brazilian side, on the 20th year anniversary since winning their last one in 2002, this Brazilian side will learn the mistakes from what happened in Copa America final, and they will come out victorious. I think they will do it. I know that the emotion and the nostalgia wants us to believe that it's Messi, but I really feel Brazil is just too much. They're just too deep. Brazil beat Argentina. They go to the final. And on the other side, England against Uruguay. Darwin Núñez been listening to all these trolls, blah, blah, blah. It's his time for revenge. He wants it. He wants it bad. Well, guess what? It's not going to happen. Yep, I am going with England. And they, for the first time since 1966, make it to a World Cup final. And I really believe this is going to be an absolute crack. Brazil against England. The Ronaldinho love over David Seaman is going over the minds of everybody. This is just going to be a tremendous final. I think it's going to be Brazil against England. And in the end, the winner is Brazil. I want it to be England, obviously, but I think it's going to be Brazil. I think it's meant to be for all the reasons that I've said. And they will win their sixth World Cup title for the first time in 20 years, when they won it in 2002 in Japan and South Korea. Now they win it again. And Coach Chiche leaves the national team as a champion. Neymar finally gets his prize, but this very talented Brazilian side will win the World Cup final in extra time. They won't make it to penalties. I think they'll do it in extra time. It'll be a good game. It'll be tight. It'll be physical. But I think Brazil are your 2022 World Cup champions.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.